Hey there, my dear Virgos. It's Stacy, and I'm coming to you from southern Mississippi. So, tonight I'm going to do a quick reading for all my Virgos, and it's kind of late and it's kind of dark, so I've had to use an app to enhance the lighting in my situation. So, that's why my hair is twitching out a little bit. Anywho, you can check it out, YouCam app, if you want to change your hair color up a little bit. Alright, so tonight we're going to do a reading with my brand new deck that I got for my birthday. And all of you friends of mine from Nuevo Mexico are probably gonna love this. Alright, so this is my new deck. The Santa Fe Tarot deck. And it, of course, looks very southwestern because Santa Fe is in the southwest. So let's take a quick look at some of these cards. I'm just going to shuffle them up real good. Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising. Alright, so the first card is the Page of Wands. And it just jumped right out there, okay? So we're just going to set that down real quick, and I'm going to finish shuffling. So this deck is based on the Navajo tribe, and a couple of sisters put it together back in 94 or 96, and so it's out of print, so it is kind of a costly deck, but I really like it, and I am not familiar with it yet, so bear with me. Okay, so the next card, the first one was for what crosses you, the Page of Water, which water is going to be cups. Cups is like water, which makes sense. And then we also have the Moon card in your immediate future, and the Four of Lightning, which lightning is like wands, so we've got the Four of Wands. And for your final outcome, we have the Chariot. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple more cards. I like to do several different decks since I just do a short, quick reading. Alright, so I have this handmade deck that I made, and it is similar to an oracle deck, but I didn't actually take into consideration each card coming from the deck, so it's a little bit different. Alright, so along with the Page of Water, we have, and of course water is going to be symbolizing the signs Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and it also represents the winter, which we have the winter coming in right as we speak. We're more like closer to autumn, I guess. Alright, so the first card that we're pulling is Be a Team Player. Be a team player. Alright, and then the second card is the Pay Pig. The pay pig is when you get yourself in a situation where you have to pay someone that you're working for and you're not actually bringing home any bacon. Alright? Rekindle your love and heal your relationship. Karmic love. That one's going to go right next to the Four of Lightning, which is Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And then the Chariot is your final card, which this one, I love these cards. They all look like little Kachina dolls. Alright, so the one that comes with that one, with the Chariot, which the Chariot is kind of pulling you in two different directions. It says take a different path. So maybe the Chariot's pulling you in two different directions, and maybe you really don't want to go in either one of those directions. So maybe it's time to forge your own new path. Alright? And so with the Page of Water, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pull from the Hermetic deck just to give it a good round. I really like the Hermetic deck because it seems to be an answer to all issues. Every single thing in the universe is wrapped up in this Hermetic law. Alright, so Page of Water and be a team player. Virgo, what do we need to do? What can we do? Alright, so it says mentalism. So there might be somebody in your life who's playing a mind game with you, or maybe you're playing a mind game with somebody. Okay, so the next card, I honestly don't even know if I should keep this card in here, but it's White Hot Desire, polarizing, and it says all paradoxes can be recovered. Alright, so a paradox is like whenever you get wrapped up in a loop, but it's a time loop. So it's almost like it starts you back over at the beginning. Alright, and then under your truth revealed, we've got the law of identification. With your will, you can become anything. Alright, and on the last final outcome, we've got the law of cause and effect. Alright, so let's take a look and see how these cards interact with each other. And since this is my brand new deck, I want to show you the card. Alright, first things first. Come here, little card. Doesn't want to come to me. The Page of Water. Alright, and the page is always like someone who is lighthearted, and let me see, hold on. I really want to look it up in the book that it came with, just because a Navajo tribe is where these cards are coming from. So let me see. Let's see if it's anything different than your traditional Page of... So the cups are like water. Alright, so we've got the Page of Water, a studious and intent person, reflective, meditative, loyal, willingness to offer services and efforts towards specific goal, a helpful person, a trustworthy person, a trustworthy worker, Alright, and with that card, we also have the Be a Team Player card, which I'd say goes right along with it. And then also, how do you do that? Well, the Mentalist card comes out. All equals mentalism. So basically, mentalism is whenever you do more than just follow your intuition. You pay attention to the way that people are, their gestures and the way that they talk to you, and if they're talking down to you or if they are, trying to manipulate you, you have to try and be aware of that, okay? So, with the next one, we have the immediate future, which is the moon card. And in the immediate future, it shows the pay pig. Okay, so this is really hitting hard for me because I just lost my job. But the moon card is a really good positive card, usually depicting, someone who's been through a lot. Let's see what this deck says about the moon card. I'm sure it's going to be just like any other, like the Rider-Waite, but let's take a look and find out. Alright, so from the looks of it, like everything in this just pretty much lines up exactly. I have a lot of decks that do not line up exactly with the cards. Alright, but the moon card is considered a pale twin of the sun. Wears two broad striped horns with dangling feathers and beads, indicating superior status. The moon also wears dyed eagle feathers and a headdress and a collar, revealing intuition and sometimes artifice. I suppose that's something like artifacts. Artifice. We might have to check that out. His cheeks are masked with short rainbow bars. Let me show you. I have a skeeter trying to eat me right now. The moon card, alright. He is protected by the thick rainbow border with 3 feathers, and his guardians are twin snakes. Oh, okay. I love it. It's so interesting. Alright. So, what goes with that is the pay pig, which, that leaves a lot of room, a lot of wiggle room right there with the, I'm gonna have to look into this deck deeper. I did try to do some research on the Navajo and find out some of the symbolism, but I really didn't find anything. I'm gonna have to buy the book that goes with this. There's a big thick book that goes with this deck, and I think that would be extremely helpful to reading these cards outside of the traditional sense. Alright, so the white hot desire is polarizing. All paradoxes can be recovered. Alright, so I guess I'm not sure how you could get yourself in a paradox and a pay pig situation at the same time with the moon card. So you take this however you want to, whatever the situation may be. But financially, I would say just be careful what decisions that you plan on making, especially if it has to do with someone that you might be overly attracted to, possibly for the wrong reasons, because it's a paradox. But it says don't worry, that you can overcome it. Alright, and for the truth revealed, we've got the Four of Lightning, which lightning is like Four of Wands, and this represents the fire, Leo's, Sagittarius, and Aries. And alright, so respite. Alright, I am very familiar with what respite is, but for those of you who are not, it says rest after illness, repose, replenishment, solitude, exile, retreat, abandonment. Alright, so let's see what other cards go with this one. I am about to murder a skeeter right now. Okay, so with that card, we also have the Rekindle Your Love. So maybe your respite might help you rekindle your love. Whether it's you that needs the rest or someone that you're taking care of that needs the respite. Either way, it might give you the opportunity to rekindle love. Karmic love, at that. The back of the card says karmic love. Okay. I've got to come up with some pictures for these cards. They're great. Alright, and then the Hermetic card that goes along with that is the Law of Identification. With your will, you can become anything. Alright, so you might be feeling, if you're feeling down and you're feeling exhausted, and, maybe it's affecting your love life, that respite will really help that. And then once you get yourself under control, then your love life will just fall right into place. And then with the Law of Identification, you can become anything, okay? So that's basically, I feel like that means identifying yourself, finding out what is holding you back. And in my life, sometimes you have to really look into the things that have affected you in the past, your childhood. Some people call it the shadow self, but whatever you call it or however you refer to it, basically it just means that if there's something holding you back, then you need to stop denying it, figure out what it is, and overcome it, alright? And for your final outcome, we've got the Chariot. Alright, so let's look at the Chariot. So this doesn't look anything like the original Chariot. Not even a little bit. This guy looks like he's got a turtle shell on his back. But there is a ton of writing on him, and I really wish that I knew more about this Navajo tribe, but it kind of looks like there's a dead snake at his feet. So let's see what the actual book that came with it says about the Chariot. Alright, so the Chariot is, as far as I've ever known, in your typical deck, the Chariot is like usually one person and they're riding this chariot, and then there's two beasts, whether it be horses, or some people have lions and others have, each deck is different, but usually it's pulling you in two different directions. And then our next card says to take a different path. So that's even a twist for it right there. Alright, and then the Law of Cause and Effect is your Hermetic rule or law that goes along with that card. Alright, so then we've got, let me see what this says though, even though this is kind of like, almost like another language, I love it, and I don't think I actually have any Navajo in me. All of my ancestry that has any kind of Native American tribe is from the South, and I want to say it's Cherokee. And I couldn't even guarantee for sure that lineage, but that was what I found. And so, here we go. As far as calling on my ancestors, it's probably not going to be the Navajo that we're calling to, but maybe this deck will bring us some good vibes. Let's say, so the Chariot, according to this deck, is also known as the Humpbacked Yi, or the Navajo god of plenty, is on a continuous journey, and has to face many perils in his travels. Alright? And truth is, his hump is a deerskin bag carrying seeds. He holds a medicine pouch and double bull roarer in his hands, and the mountains benefit his feet, show the distance that he must walk, and his headdress are traditional mountain sheep horns. A short rainbow bar hangs in the sky beneath his hands. Alright, so whatever might be tearing you into multiple directions, just make sure that you take your own path. Take a new path. And the law of cause and effect basically means that, you know, whatever comes into fruition, whatever it is that you know, are looking for, there's going to be a cause, whatever caused it, and then that's going to cause an effect. So it's basically like Einstein's theory. I want to say theory of relativity, but I don't know that's it. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Definitely. Alright, so I still feel like we didn't get a lot of information out of that reading. So let me pull a couple more cards. It's looking so far so good. Like, everything seems to be doing pretty good. I do have this deck here. It's a, the Grim deck. I haven't really finished it yet, so it might take me a second to find a card that actually has writing on it. But this is our lesson for the day, okay? So whatever might be holding you back, make sure that you keep on moving forward, especially with your Chariot. Rapunzel. Alright, y'all, I shuffled it twice and Rapunzel come up. So I'm not going to tell the whole story of Rapunzel. Most of all of us have heard of the story of Rapunzel, and let's just go over some of the basic lessons that you should learn after, you know, going over the whole story of Rapunzel. Basically, she's like a princess, and her mommy has kept her up in the castle, and she let her hair down, and somebody climbed up her hair, her little lover, and helped her escape. So let's be careful to take a step. It says do take a step out of your comfort zone. In other words, if you're the parent, you know, it might not be comfortable for you to let your kid run around, but you know, you have to prepare them, whoever it is, for the real world. Alright, so it says also, don't believe everything that you hear. You know, everything that you see or that you read in the news or that you see on TV is not solid information. It could be someone trying to manipulate you. Also, you cannot protect your children from everything. And last but not least, never give up. Which I think is a very good lesson, especially in 2020. I know that a lot of people have struggled this year, including myself, and I'm going to pull one more card just for the woohoo fun of it. So I made this deck, and I haven't even ever used it, and I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but let's just see what we can pull from it, okay? So this is Ancient Symbols. This is my Ancient Symbols deck. Of course, I love to help people. Natural healer. I love to help people who are sick, and I love to make knowledge available for people who might be stuck in a paradox of, you know, confusion with the current system of things that we're living in. Alright, so I'm trying to find something that's completed here. Alright, let's see what we've got. Alright, I think I got my decks mixed up somehow, but this card seems pretty straightforward. Exploitation. Vertical transaction. Alright, so you might be thinking, what in the world is a vertical transaction? Well, it's definitely when someone's taking advantage of you and you're not really getting anything out of the final situation. Alright, so if you have someone who's using you or abusing you, then it's really imperative to not let them take advantage of you, okay? Alright, so I guess I must have started this deck and then I got it mixed up with this other deck because there is narcissist cards up in here, and then I also have some symbols, which I have no idea what this means. I know that that the triangle typically stands for like the Trinity, but I think that's a very hermetic symbol right there. Alright, this one is something really close to my heart. This is also like the Trinity, the law of threefold will return. I know a lot of people who have this as a tattoo. It's also a Celtic symbol, and it loops around, never ending. Alrighty then, well, there's a couple new cards for you. If you enjoy seeing my decks that aren't finished, please let me know. It's not really part of the reading, it's just some extra information. And I also have a narcissist deck. Let's pull one narcissist card, just in case any of you out there are struggling with a narcissistic personality disorder, or you might know someone that you love that is. I'm gonna have to redo this deck. They just stick together. You cannot, absolutely cannot shuffle them. We're just gonna Pick a card. Pick a card. Any card. Alright, so we're getting pretty deep into this reading. Let's hurry up and pick this last card. Hold on. Okay. Blame shifting. Grandiose trait. So, have you ever gone to somebody that you love and you're trying to tell them, hey, you know, this isn't working for me. And it also says on the back, react to the criticism by reflecting. Alright? So sometimes you go to your family, your friends, your lover, maybe your boss, whoever it might be, and you tell them, hey, you know what, I need your help with this. This is a real problem for me. And then they flip it and flop it around, and all of a sudden it's your problem. It's not their problem, and inadvertently they shift the blame from themselves to you. And if it's your boss, there is literally nothing that you can do about it. Just take it all in and soak it up, because what you can do is react to the criticism by reflecting on what you choose to do. Okay? And since I'm recently fired, yes, I'm definitely reflecting. It happens to the best of us. So for those of you out there who have lost your jobs due to COVID or any number of reasons, maybe your employers have hired so many people because everybody's sick that they now have to get rid of some people. Whatever the situation might be, I'm pretty sure that in 2020, if you haven't had a rough one, then go ahead and hold on to your seat because it's not over yet. Okay. So it was so nice talking to all of you tonight. And once again, my name is Stacy. Please like and subscribe, and be sure to leave a comment. I was going to try to come up with a question. So, how did y'all like the Santa Fe deck? Do you love it? Do you think I should get a Rider-Waite deck? I have a Rider-Waite, but I made it myself as a study deck. And this one is a lot different, but it's really the same basic idea. So let me know in the comments if you like it. Give me a thumbs up if you do. And you all have a wonderful night.